Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny video. You might already be able to tell that I'm kind of excited, my voice, but Game Informer just dropped a big bit of Rise of Iron information. If you guys cast your mind back to the Taken King, then you might remember that Game Informer again had sort of like a month where they ran up to the launch of the Taken King and, you know, every sort of week or every few days they had new posts talking about loads of different aspects of the game, and they are doing the exact same thing for Rise of Iron and they kicked it off today. So today's post is more of a teaser as to the things they are going to be covering, but regardless it still included loads of cool new stuff. We got to look at some new armor, we got the name of the raid, we got information about how the artifact slot is going to be reinvented, mention of the new Crucible mode, just loads of stuff. So I'm going to break it all down for you guys, tell you everything you need to know, and of course as always links to everything will be in the description box down below. Make sure you bookmark Game Informer's hub because they are going to have loads of great content over the coming weeks, but let's get started. So first things first, let's talk about the Game Informer cover. This is the image they're going to have on this month's issue. Looks really, really cool, but more importantly, we get a look at what I'm going to say are the 3 Iron Lord gear sets. We've had some kind of debates up until now as to whether these armor sets we're seeing are Iron Lord or Iron Banner, but I think these are very, very obviously going to be Iron Lord sets. The Warlock one we've actually seen before. This is the one that we've seen in a lot of the gameplay, however the Warlock here is of course holding the axe. But the new ones, the really interesting ones, are the Hunter and the Titan. The Titan looks so cool. I mean, I'm a Hunter personally, but this Titan looks full on Norse with those horns on the helmet. Looks like something straight out of Skyrim, and the Hunter's of course got this really thick cloak with like this, you know, mantle around his neck. But it's safe to say they do all look super cool. They're also rocking some new weapons as well. Obviously this is a stylized artistic version, so it's not going to be a completely accurate representation of what they'll look like in game, but the sniper that Hunter is wielding, and of course also that potentially assault rifle, scout rifle that the Titan is holding, also looks super cool. So that is the cover. Again, you can find that over on the article if you want to look at it in detail, but now let's focus on some of the entries in the article. So first things first, the article says, in Rise of Iron, Guardians can look forward to a vast array of new weapons and armor sets, a new arena play space called Archon's Forge, new ways to enjoy Crucible PvP play, and only a few days after launch, the blistering cooperative challenge of Destiny's latest raid, Wrath of the Machine. So, a lot of things in there. First of all, we have a name for the new raid, Wrath of the Machine. That is super cool. We've of course seen the footage in the original trailer where the Guardians are fleeing from this kind of crazy machine looking thing. So I imagine there's going to be some sort of jumping puzzle involved while also trying to dodge, you know, incoming missiles or anything crazy from that. But we obviously know with the whole Siva narrative, technological play, self-replicating and whatnot, that there's going to be a big focus on machine and technology. So that's the name. But more importantly, they also said only a few days after launch. Now typically a raid launches, you know, a week later, something like that. However, a few days makes it sound like it's going to be a lot nearer. So if you're one of those people, I know I am with my team, we're going to try and go for world first. You are going to want to make sure that on day one you are smashing the new content because you're going to want to make sure you are geared and ready for this thing. However, on top of that, they mentioned a new arena play space called Archon's Forge. Now, truth be told, at this stage, we don't really know a great deal about this. However, one thing we did get a look at during their teaser video they uploaded, about 55 seconds, includes some new gameplay. There was a section in there where a Guardian is fighting a level 42 enemy, and on the screen it says survive the Archon's Forge, there's a timer, and it says squads cleared 93%. So that could well be like some sort of wave-based activity. Maybe it's like Rise of Iron's equivalent to Prison of Elders. Maybe they're bringing back both things. Maybe they give us a raid and they give us something that is like a new wave Prison of Elders, or maybe it's something else entirely. It could be completely different. Maybe the mention of Forge means that there are variables that we can control. The Forge could, of course, tie to the Iron Lords, and this could be like a test that we have to go through. Maybe it's one of the many steps to becoming an Iron Lord. Maybe we have to go through various different encounters. Who knows? At this stage, we really don't know much at all, apart from the fact that we've seen a level 42 Splicer High Servitor, and of course we've seen the mention of Archon's Forge. But I'm sure we'll find out very, very soon, because Game Informer will be peeling back the curtain on all of this stuff over the coming weeks. So moving on to the next thing, they said that Bungie also pulls the curtain back on the reinvention of the artifact item slot, which now serves to provide a game-changing ability to be combined with your subclass and gear selections. So we know from what we've heard of Rise of Iron so far that we're not going to be getting any new subclasses, but Deej did say in a few interviews at E3 that there will be ways to change the way you play. And up until now, artifacts have been, truth be told, not very exciting. When they were first introduced in Taken King, I was pretty excited about the concept, because if you think about how artifacts are used in other games, then it could have been really cool, but they ended up just being another thing to drag down your light. So the fact that they are now actually going to have gameplay implications is so exciting, because you might even then have the ability to have multiple different abilities. You know, you have your subclass right now, and you're very used to it, you know exactly what you need to do, But if you then throw in different artifacts, it could well be, you know, you could have an array of different abilities, things that we just, to a certain extent, it could be limitless possibilities. I mean, there will of course be a finite cap on it, but you get what I'm saying. There are so many different things they could do with this, and I'm hoping, if they're really cool with it, they won't just make it so that there's like one for each subclass. Hopefully there'll be an array of different items you can use. But safe to say, I am super excited to see how all of that manifests. Finally, they then said our cover story features dozens of new screenshots and as much info as we could squeeze into 16 pages. We also have tons of additional interviews and gameplay footage that wouldn't fit, and we'll be rolling out that info as we prepare it throughout the next month, including an in-depth conversation with Destiny story writers, a closer look at one of the new exotic weapons, and comprehensive video coverage of the new PvP features and modes. So, safe to say, there is going to be tons of information. The link you see on screen is where you want to go. That is the Game Informer hub, so make sure you go there, because that's where, of course, they're going to be uploading any of their new footage. And speaking of that, if you actually go to the bookmark page, you also get a look at this snazzy new Titan armor. That looks really cool. That's some kind of neon Daft Punk style thing. But if we now turn our attention to the footage super quickly, Game Informer uploaded a brief 50-second trailer that basically teases some of the coverage coming over the next few weeks. And while it also includes segments from interviews and some things we've already seen, this, for example, is the Chamber of the Iron Lords. We know that there will be some sort of narrative tie to this, but whether there are more things you do in here, maybe we go here to get armor, maybe we go here to get new abilities, who knows. We, of course, get a look at more Siva-infested areas. This is, of course, the new Crucible footage where I spoke about the engram-looking things that drop. Now, whether they are items you have to carry, and whether it ends up being like Griff Ball or Capture the Flag, or whether they are like pickups so that you can actually get different like special weapons during game. I mean, imagine if you picked up one of those and it gave you the axe. That could be kind of cool. Then, of course, you explore the area, you get to see some new environment. We get a really cool look at some axe gameplay here. We haven't actually seen this properly before. We've seen sort of the cinematic where they jump down with the axe, but actually seeing how it's wielded is pretty cool. There's this tower up here, which I would imagine has something to do with the Iron Lord storyline, because you have two wolves either side there and a flame. Maybe that's like the rite of passage to becoming an Iron Lord. And then that is pretty much it. So, that's the footage in the trailer. That's everything we have right now. Truth be told, there was a bit of speculation mixed into there, but really exciting nonetheless. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I am super excited to see more of this. I will definitely keep you guys up to date, so expect plenty more Destiny videos over the coming weeks and months. And of course, I'm going to be at Gamescom as well, so I'll have loads of information from there for you. But for the time being, that is it. So thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.